Hi, I'm Susan Winter for SusanWinter.net. Let's say you've met somebody new. They're wonderful. And in your getting to know them, you discover that they've just had a breakup, maybe even 6 or 9 months ago, with a significant other, meaning somebody that they either lived with, dated for a year or more, perhaps they were engaged to or planning on being married. Now, this is a precarious position for you, and in order to know the lay of the land, I think you really need to be prepared for what it is to be the next in line. When people have had a breakup with a significant person, not everyone has done their internal work. Not everybody's compartmentalized it. Not everybody has processed it. Not everybody's fully gotten over the ramifications of that relationship, nor have they completely separated themselves from the attraction and desire of that former partner. So you coming in as the next serious candidate, you're on shaky footing. And I don't mean that it's impossible, but you do need to know the lay of the land and assess where your new partner is at. Because if they haven't done their work, you will be the one that suffers, not for any fault of your own. You could be absolutely perfect and everything that they would want, but they're not done inside. So you need to ask some questions. You need to understand where they are in their processing. I remember going out with a guy that I'd known from my gym. We'd say hi to each other. I knew him over a course of years, but we'd never been involved. And for some reason or other, he invited me to his girlfriend's home for just to stop by and say hello. They were having a party. And then about 8 months later, we started talking. He said, no, we've been broken up for a while. And he and I started going out. So about a month into the relationship, he tells me his ex wants to get together for dinner. First question out of my mouth, does she know we're dating? He said, oh, yes. Interesting. I know this one. So you get rid of a guy, he's not that interesting. You see him with another woman that you consider to be a peer. Suddenly you're thinking, did I miss something there? I knew she'd make another run for him. Now, I knew he was a faithful guy, but I wasn't even that into the relationship. I looked at the factors laid out in front of me, and I asked him 2 important questions. 1, do you love her? He said, yes. Well, that's kind, that's nice. I didn't qualify what kind of love he was talking about. That gave me clue number 1. Number 2, if it could have worked out, would you have wanted it to? He said, yes, absolutely. Now, not saying he would have done it, but that psychological opening, knowing that an ex is curious to come back and see what maybe she missed, I'm not in the mood to be involved with 2 people. 1 person is enough. And I know human nature. I'd be stepping into an issue. I wasn't that invested in being with this man, so I extricated myself. And when I did, about a month later, they were back together again. And a month later, they were separated. Of course, that was going to happen. So you need to find out if your partner harbors a desire that it could have worked out. Because you, as the new serious candidate that's up next, you know that person may want to come back and take a second look, and your partner may not be done. You also don't want to be the compensation for what they lacked. I know I've worked with men who they were dating somebody and they desperately wanted her back. They broke up. And the next guy that she got involved with would be his opposite, meaning if the guy that she broke up with, my client, is alpha male and proactive and strong and unfaithful, his ex is going to be looking for a beta male who is reliable and also, to her, boring. So I knew when my client's ex was dating that it was not going to be the best scenario. That was not this woman's first choice. Most people that have been in a long-term relationship really would prefer their original partner, but the better version of them. So understand that you need to be a little cautious and check the emotional health of the new person that you're with, and enter slowly with your eyes open, because the next person in line doesn't have the strongest position. Have honest dialogue, see how much work they've done on themselves, and get a very clear feeling. What you want is somebody that is over the ex, can process it in a positive way. When somebody's really done and everything's been worked out, they'll tend to look back and say, I actually learned something from it. I learned a lot. It wasn't that bad. I'm not attracted to them. I can't even understand why I was now, but I got some good things out of it. That is a person who's done and moved on, and that's the kind of person who will be ready for you. Best wishes in your new relationship, Susan Winter for SusanWinter.net. Thank you.